son the application process of health history, recommendations, etc., interviews, and home visits. I remember the social worker for the home visit came about 20 minutes early, probably on purpose. I had taken Susan to swimming lessons where I was by the pool and Sherry was in a fenced area playing behind me. We had just gotten home and were dressing. Cindy was at school, the house was in order, and I guess we passed. My mom and dad came out for a visit and were treating us to our first cruise on the Bahama Star to the Bahamas. We had a wonderful time, but on the way back, at the captain's negligence, the ship got stuck on a sandbar close to the port. We were allowed one phone call, so we called Ron and Karma Wagstaff, the couple taking care of our girls, to explain our situation and ask them to keep babysitting. They said we had a phone call from the Children's Home Society saying we had a baby boy waiting for us.
Yay!
We were very excited. They brought in tugs to pull us off the sandbar at midnight when the tide was high. No avail. Helicopters with news reporters circled and they pulled at each high tide. We had an extra day on the ship and the food got slimmer. We played shuffleboard on a slightly inclined deck. They finally took us off by boat, which we had to jump into. It took them 3 weeks to get the ship off the sandbar. When we got home and greeted our girls, Lloyd and I went to Kmart to pick out a light blue coming home outfit for our baby boy, which we assumed would have blue eyes, and made a sign saying, "Welcome home, son." We figured that the day Mike was born, we had been out sailing with our friends, the Wittersheims. What an easy labor and delivery for me. We had bought a blue outfit for a new son as we expected a blue-eyed baby. The next morning we went to our appointment at the Children's Home Society with Mom and Dad and the girls. They waited outside. We went in and they placed Mike in my arms. He had big brown eyes, which I hadn't expected, and a red rash all over his face, which I was told was a milk rash. He wasn't exactly who I expected, but knew if I said no, we would probably be off the list for quite a while, or maybe forever. So I said yes.
So you were guilted into taking me.
Pardon?
It was a guilt trip to take me.
Sort of. I'm so glad we did. The milk rash cleared right up, and he always had beautiful skin. How nice to have brown eyes, which Lloyd and I could never have had on our own. I used to sing to Mike, "Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes, beautiful, beautiful. I'll never love blue eyes again." Dad suggested we stop for lunch. I really wanted to get our new baby home, but I relented, and he treated us all to a nice lunch. Mike had a nice, healthy body and was a joy to take care of. The girls used to line up for the feedings, but at night I had him all to myself. I do remember still having some mourning for Lloyd Benyon, and once I got Mike out of bed in his sleep and cuddled him. I was sad and glad at the same time. I was so happy to have Mike in our family and to finally have a son. He really didn't look that good in the light blue outfit, so we got him brown and red, etc., and he looked wonderful. He was a joy to feed. He enjoyed his food and was the first child we had that we didn't have to practically force feed baby food. He passed all his first year markers with flying colors, and we all enjoyed him a lot. He began growing chestnut red hair, which was gorgeous with his brown eyes. Lloyd's sideburns turned red automatically, which was a sure sign he was meant to be ours.
True.
He had a sturdy body and a determined way about him, very masculine, and opposed to the girls' feminine, more willowy bodies.
All right.
So there's one thing I would add, and that is when we talked to the Children's Home Society, they said, well, we'll need to do an interview, and I said, well, how about now? And they said, well, we'll need to come to your home. I said, well, how about today or tomorrow? You know, we just just pushed them. And they said, well, you're pretty aggressive. I said,
Yep.
You know, if we're going to do it, let's do it. So,
Yeah, we were
they
supposed
were-
to be having a baby now.
they were out there within a week. They had finished all of the interviews and all of the applications. And the lady, when we finally picked you up, she said, we've never had anyone go through everything so well and fast as you guys. You guys are
Wow.
great parents. So,
It was meant to be.
Well,
And
it's meant to be.
there's a reason for it all.
I'll
I'm
read
lucky.
you a little more if you're interested.
Yep.